You were just born. In the center of the sun, you are a particle of light, a photon, and you have exactly one job. Get out. There is just a small problem. It's going to take you 100,000 years. But your last 8 minutes are going to be fun. Let's talk about where you are. You're sitting in the core of the sun. It's 15 million degrees. The pressure is 250 billion times what you feel at sea level. To put that in perspective, if you took the entire weight of the ocean, all of it, and crushed it down onto a single coin, you still wouldn't be close. That's the kind of place you were born into, and all around you is hydrogen being crushed so hard it's fusing into helium. And every time it does, it spits out a little burst of energy. That burst of energy? That's you. You're not a thing, really. You're not a ball or a dot or a spark. You're a packet of pure energy that the universe coughed up in a fraction of a second. One moment there's nothing. The next moment there's you. Welcome to existence. You've got somewhere to be. Now, the surface of the sun is only about 700,000 kilometers away. Sounds far, but you travel at the speed of light. The fastest thing that exists, the hard speed limit of the entire universe. Nothing goes faster than you. Nothing is allowed to. So a straight shot to the surface should take you about 2 seconds. 2 seconds? Easy. You stretch, you crack your knuckles, you go. Yeah? About that. Here's the problem. The sun isn't empty. You probably picture it as this glowing ball of fire, right? Open, bright, hollow? It's the opposite. It's packed, wall to wall with protons and electrons, crammed so tight, you can't move more than a couple centimeters without crashing into one. Imagine trying to sprint across a stadium. Now imagine that stadium is filled, floor to ceiling, with people standing shoulder to shoulder. Now imagine you have to get to the other side. That's your situation. Except the stadium is the size of a star, and every time you hit one of them, the same thing happens. You get swallowed up, held for a moment, and then spat back out in a completely random direction. Forward, sideways, backward. It doesn't matter where you want to go. You go wherever you're thrown. Scientists have a name for this. They call it a random walk. Though, honestly, it looks a lot more like you when you're drunk and trying to find the exit. So you bounce. And you bounce. And you bounce. And here's the part that breaks my brain a little. Each individual bounce takes almost no time at all. We're talking a tiny fraction of a second between collisions. But there are so many of them. Trillions. Then trillions of trillions. The number of times you get knocked around in here is bigger than the number of grains of sand on Earth. After more collisions than there are grains of sand on Earth, and I got a video for that too, go check it out, you've still barely moved. 1,000 years go by. You look down. You have moved about the length of a swimming pool. Let that sit. 1,000 years. A swimming pool. Civilizations are rising and falling back on some little blue planet you've never heard of. Empires. Languages. Whole species come into existence, build everything they'll ever build, and vanish. And you? You're still in here. Bouncing. Same room, same crowd, same shove in a random direction. Fun fact, by now you've been absorbed and re-emitted so many times that you're technically not even in the same photon anymore. Your energy got passed along like a relay baton, photon to photon to photon. The you that started in the core is long gone. But we're going to keep calling that you because otherwise this gets philosophical and we have a sun to escape. Here's the thing about this journey. You're changing. When you started, you were a gamma ray, the most violent, high-energy kind of light there is. The dangerous stuff, the kind of radiation that would shred a human body. But every collision shaved a little bit off you, a little energy lost here. A little there, bit by bit, over thousands and thousands of years, you've cooled down. You've softened. And this is the part I think is actually beautiful. You didn't just travel through the sun. The sun changed what you are. The furious newborn from the core, the killer, is gone. What's left is something gentler, something warmer, something that looks a lot more like ordinary sunlight. You walked in as a weapon. You're going to walk out as the thing that grows flowers. And finally, the crowd starts to thin. The collisions come less often. There's space. After an eternity of being shoved around in the dark, you can suddenly see room ahead of you. You've reached the outer layers, and here, for the first time in 100,000 years, the sun does something kind. It carries you. Giant rivers of boiling plasma rise up toward the surface, currents the size of countries, and you ride them up like an elevator. After all that walking, all that bouncing, All that being thrown around, you finally just get to rest and let the sun lift you the rest of the way. The light at the top gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and you're out. After 100,000 years, after outliving entire species that never even knew you existed, after a journey so long that when it started, your destination, Earth, looked completely different than it does now. You're free. And I want you to actually feel that for a second, because the little guy earned it. But now, the part that's going to make you angry. You just spent 100,000 years crossing the sun. The trip from the surface of the sun all the way across the emptiness of space, past the orbit of Mercury, past Venus, all the way to Earth? 8 minutes. 100,000 years to cross the sun. 8 minutes to cross the entire solar system. I'm not joking. The hardest part of your whole journey was the first 700,000 kilometers. The easy part was the next 150 million. And then, after everything, you land. Not with a crash, not with a bang. You just arrive. On a face, on a perfectly ordinary afternoon. On someone who has absolutely no idea what you went through to get there. So here's something to sit with. The sunlight warming your skin right now, the light you've felt on your face literally every single day of your life, the light you've never once thought about, started its journey before there were humans to feel it. It is older than your species. It is older than language. Older than every story ever told. And it crossed the impossible, survived 100,000 years in the dark, just to land on you for 1 single second. Today. So next time you step outside and feel the sun, maybe say thanks. The little guy came a long way.